Welcome to the Transfer Exchange Show. We are live. Now, we were meant to have Robin Bairner on, but however, he is ill. He's ill. So he's not able to join us tonight. However, we still have transfer news. So no Robin Bairner. However, we have Steve K. How you doing, Steve?
Yeah. How you doing, mate? Yeah. I hope you get better soon, Robin. And but there's like you said, you've got plenty of transfer news, and any questions out there, get them in. If you're on Twitter, come over, and we'll try and do our best to answer them for you.
Yep, definitely. Also, Robin, I've been practicing some of my French pronunciations of these players, so there is no getting away from it. We'll see you soon. Aurelia Tuameni. I didn't waste my time trying to pronounce that name for no reason. All right.
What does it mean?
That's the Monaco player that Chelsea and Man United are linked with. That's what I had a list. I had a list of players. But it doesn't matter. We can Chris on another time. Go on.
I thought you were saying hello or something to someone.
No, that's bonjour. Bonjour, ça va? Ça va très bien, merci, ça va. Oui, ça va. Oui, bon. Yeah. That's about as much as I know. Year 7 French, and that was it. That was when I gave up.
I just want to add, people on Twitter, I know loads of you are going to be watching tonight on Twitter, but you're going to put your questions in. We won't be able to see them, and so come over here, please.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let's not waste no time. The link is going into the Twitter, so come over. As I always say, hit the link, smash that subscribe, and come and join us live. All right. There's plenty to talk about. Bruno Guimaraes, Newcastle. Will Arsenal intervene and get involved in that? Arsenal looks like that deal. Arsenal may be pulling out, seeing as the powers that be are not happy with, are reluctant to push the button on a £40 million deal, option to buy, to be honest, and an 18-month loan. Maybe there are other transfer targets. Maybe they've got other transfer targets, and they want to press ahead with them, and a deal for Arthur maybe get in the way if that's an 18-month deal. But who are they after? Considering Bruno Guimaraes is meant to be having a medical on Monday. However, Lyon have denied that any deal has been struck yet. Yet being the key word. All right. The link to the show is now in the comment section. So come and smash that button. Come and join us over on KS1 TV and smash that subscribe. All right, while we're here, let's get into the transfer. Brighton are on the verge of completing the signing of teenage Paraguayan attacker Julio Esco. The Paraguayan source has told Sky Sports the Premier League club are on the brink of agreeing a deal. I done a bit of a write-up on this kid 2 years ago when he was playing with... Who's the legend that was at Benfica?
Eusebio?
No. More recent. He's playing with
more recent.
Eusebio's dead.
More recent. Figo didn't play for Benfica, did he?
No.
No, he's not Portuguese anyway, is he?
What's his name? This is going to ruin me. What's his name? Oscar Cardozo. So he was playing with him. They were playing in the same team together, and he was. I've done a little write up on that, so I'll post it again. It's on the Transfer Exchange Show Instagram, but I will post it on the Transfer Exchange Show Twitter as well. It's just a bit of information about what kind of a player he is, and that was 2 years ago. So it's very interesting to see that he's kept up his development, and he's now on the brink of signing for Brighton, which should have actually been done by now. Diej Katlaka is one of several centre-backs that West Ham are looking at, according to Sky Sports News. West Ham want a loan deal with an option to buy, but Marseille will only let him leave on a permanent deal. He's valued at €20 million. Newcastle are in advanced talks with Tottenham Hotspur over a deal for Dele Alli for the rest of the season. Steve, Do you think Dele Alli has a opportunity to resurrect his career at Newcastle?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be an excellent chance for him to do that. I mean, he's an excellent player, and it doesn't seem that he's going to do much at Spurs anymore. And to go to somewhere like Newcastle, St James's Park, probably become that hero again. I think. I mean, it would be ideal for him to go there, but it's something that's gone very quiet over the last couple of days. We heard in the beginning of the week that Dele Alli, had talks, but recently it's gone quiet. Obviously, we'll probably come to it a bit later that Newcastle were, been looking at a load of different players, but Dele Alli seems to have gone a little bit wayward. I did hear that Steven Gerrard was interested in him at Aston Villa just before that they got Coutinho. So yeah, definitely, great player, Dele Alli, goal scorer, assist maker. Certainly someone Newcastle could do with.
Yeah, definitely. They need that goal scoring sort of prowess as well. It's not just defensive prowess that they have over there. Anthony Martial agreed a deal to sign for Seville. That deal is done. It's official. There's pictures of him in the shirt, and he's smiling. Steve, good deal for Seville, bad deal for Man United, or good deal for both parties?
I would have thought it would have been a good deal for everybody all round. I think it's a fantastic deal for Seville. If he came to my club, I wouldn't have complained. I just think he hasn't been used right since he's gone to the club. I think that ever since the signing of Alexis Sanchez, when he went to Manchester United, Martial was sort of like put on the bench, and ever since then he's just not had a chance to get back in. And there's a quality player in there. There's a World Cup coming up, and he's just not getting used. A player of his ability, it's just not good enough for him to sit on the bench and come on every now and then. But quality player, great signing for Seville. Wages will something off of Manchester United books, and they're now looking for a replacement themselves. So yeah, for me, good deal all round.
All right. Manchester United in advanced talks with Babako Kamara, but also AS Roma are interested in the player. Make sure you catch us on the Man United show tomorrow. There's a full write-up and stat breakdown of Kamara, what type of player he is, his weaknesses, his strengths. It should be a good show. Steve, what's your thoughts on the Babako Kamara? Do you know anything more about it? How are Man United really pushing for this deal to go through?
Yeah, they're really pushing. But saying that, today, so Roma. Roma went in for him first, and then they pulled out due to wages, due to the fee, and then Manchester United came in, and and they had talks with him, and it sort of gone very, very well. With both parties, and as far as from what I'm hearing at the moment, it's continuing on in that vein. I've also heard today that Roma now are now coming back in with another bid, probably tomorrow. So I'm assuming that's going to be more than what Manchester United have been offering, because what's the point? In going back in. So there could be a little bit of a stumbling block there. But he's a big admirer of Manchester United. He talks about David Beckham. He talks about the class of 1992. And he talks about, that time. So it sounds like to me he's a Manchester United fan. So, yeah. And with talk of other players leaving, I think this is someone who Manchester United could really do with, and it's a good chance for it getting done.
Yeah, he's a proper DM. you're getting a versatile DM though. You're getting a player who can play centre back and left back as well. So it'd be very interesting to see if Man United push through with that deal. Jesse Lingard. Look, earlier on in the year, it was looking like he was West Ham bound, but now it looks like he could potentially be on his way to Newcastle, Steve.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I mean, I've heard that Newcastle is not his first choice of club to go to. Mm-hmm. He got a phone call from Manchester United saying, you know, what do you want to do about? Do you want to hear a bid? Someone's come in, and you know, apparently Jesse Lingard was very surprised that he actually got that phone call that Manchester United actually thought that he was going to stay, and that they was asking that question. But as far as Newcastle goes, I don't think it's his first choice. I think West Ham's still his first choice. From what I've been told, from two close friends to the show, and very, very good sources at West Ham, is that West Ham still want Jesse Lingard. So I don't think Newcastle are going to have this all their own way. And I think just as we get towards the end of the window, I think you're going to see West Ham start to raise their head again for Jesse Lingard.
All right. Yes, so this one is old news. However, it's worth talking about. Joby McAnaff said on Watford's manager search, Fabio Carrara might be one. He was spotted in and around the boardroom, which is never helpful when the manager is in trouble, seeing big names as potential successors, which means that although we know now that Roy Hodgson has taken over the job at Watford, I mean, that's a very good appointment for Watford. He's seasoned management in the Premier League. He's got top experience of keeping teams up and even pushing teams on past that. He stabilises teams. But how bad is that Claudio Ranieri was manager at the time, and they were interviewing managers in and around the ground, which coaching staff can see, which means the manager can see. That's never good, and the players can see.
Yeah. No, it's not good. It's, as you said, it's not good for morale. It's not good for when on match days when players are playing. Did it have something to do with the defeat at Norwich? It could well do when you hear things like this. When if you don't know whether you're going to be in the team the following week, and if the manager is picking you and you're not going to be picked the next week, there's always that confusion. So without a doubt. I mean, Watford, should have thought, a little bit more about this. Okay, with a legend, if you like Cannavaro, maybe you probably thought he might have been there just for a meeting or something, and thinking, why would he manage Watford? But yeah, I mean, you can't do that. But then again, when you look at the people who are doing the hiring at Watford, it doesn't surprise me, does it you? I mean, it's like, I think it's 13 managers now that they've sacked since that they've got come in charge of the club. And this, I think this is number, Roy will be number 14. And all I can say with these owners, good luck.
Yeah, I think someone said it was 6 managers Watford have had since they last kept a clean sheet, which is a frightening stat.
That's crazy. Yeah. In fact, someone sent me the stat today, so I will get it correct. I'm pretty sure it was that, though. It was, in fact, yes, it was. It was Roy Hodgson is the 6th man to manage Watford since they kept a Premier League clean sheet. Like,
that's crazy.
That's
a crazy stat.
Yeah, what a stat.
I never knew that. And yeah, I'm going to have to write that one down because that is mad. But I think it's a good appointment. I do think it is a good appointment. I mean, Roy Hodgson, someone who's, done there, got it, got the T-shirt, as the phrase goes. Mm-hmm. If anybody can go in there, I've heard people that saying that, what Roy don't know what he's getting himself in for. Watford ain't got this, they got that. They're in a mess. Well, I think Roy's been there and done it. You know, I'm positive that he knows exactly what he's going into. You know, he's 74, been manager for a good 40 years, and I think it's a good appointment, and I think Watford fans should give him a chance.
Yeah, Watford fans shouldn't even be talking right now. Like, sorry, yeah, Roy Hodgson kept Crystal Palace up when they hadn't won a game in their first 14 games after De Boer took over. Roy Hodgson took West Bromwich Albion from a team that is fighting relegation to a team that is in and around survival every season. Surviving every season to the point where they weren't even getting in that relegation dogfight. He had Ben Foster in the England squad. Like this is what I mean. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he has to do. He did the same with Crystal Palace. It got a bit tired for those fans because they had it for a few years, but he stabilised their team, and that's what he needs to do. That's what he's coming to do at Watford. And let's hope it's not just till the end of the season, because if they do go down, he's a manager that can probably get them back up and then keep them up next time. But we'll see. AC Milan remain interested in signing Tottenham defender Japhet Tanganga on loan. It's understood Spurs would consider a move if it was permanent, however, or a loan obligation to buy it. Is there any more in that? Is that one, or have it gone a bit flat?
No, there's still talk. I'm still seeing it about. For me, it's come as a big surprise, this, because I remember a little while ago we had again two friends of ours, Jamie Brown from Daily Hotspurs and Abby Grace Summers, who's now on Talk Sport. And we had him on the show, and we had a good little chat about Japhet Tanganga, and they were saying, what a player he is, what a good player for the future. I mean, and they was talking about him on, possibly on the Ledley King and Sol Campbell lines, but now, you're seeing Tottenham fans sort of saying, he's not for us, he's not the man, and get him out as ASAP. So yeah, it looks like Tottenham will. I mean, what did you say that did they say the deal? What it is?
They want a loan, but Tottenham want a loan obligation to buy or a permanent deal.
Yes, that surprises me, because I would think, okay, let's just give him a loan. Let's go and send him out to Milan. Milan's a place where defenders, sort of. What's the word? They earn their spurs, or that type of thing. It's a difficult league, for defenders. So for a young defender to go out there, it'd be a good experience for him. So I would have given him 6 months, see how he does out there, then comes back. So I'm a bit surprised by the you've got to go 18 months. We're going to buy him, but it is certainly something that. AC Milan, and I've got a funny feeling in the end, I think this one could come back to bite Spurs.
Do you think AC Milan are looking at Tomori and thinking, this could be another one here? English centre-backs that are not really rated, but we can turn them into a bit more of a consistent defender.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, Tomori, very surprised he wasn't in the England squad for the Euros. I mean, he's gone out there and from turning into sort of a an average-ish defender, he's probably gone into, to AC Milan and turned into an international defender who's first on the team sheet every week. And to do that for a club like Milan in Italy is, you've got to hold your hands up to him. He's done very well, and he's still only young. So, yeah, exactly. They're probably seeing that, and they're seeing sort of a carbon copy of him with Tendanga. And, and they think, well, we'll give it a go. And, funny feeling it might come back to haunt Spurs, this one.
All right. What we got? Atalanta's Robin Guzan is pushing for a move to Newcastle. However, it looks like he's on his way to where was it? It was
Inter Milan.
Inter Milan. 20 mil, was it?
Oh, bargain. Yeah. Absolute bargain. Again, similar to Arsenal, Newcastle ain't shy in coming forward with laying down the cash. They're putting the money there, and similar to a few things with Arsenal, that it's been down to players' choice, and you know, if you've got the choice out of the two, you're going to go to into Milan. But 20 million, you know, well, it's a bargain that is. I mean, I'm unbelievable, and I'm surprised that I don't know. Is he coming to the end of his contract in this year? Is he? I would assume for that money, maybe he is. I don't know, but yeah, again, another excellent player, another excellent defender going to Italy.
Robin Gosens, let's have a look quickly. His contract runs out next year, so not this year. Still got a year left in his contract. So
yeah, so they're worried.
Yeah, they obviously they tried to reach out for a bit of a contract talk, and he's having none of it. Yeah, which is it's smart in the end, and it's unsurprising because he had a really good Euros. So a lot of people would have taken a look at him after that, and yeah, it's not surprising that he's off this season. Next up is Arsenal contacted Real Sociedad over the sign of Alexander Isak, and later on last night, it came to throw that Arsenal would have to pay the release clause for the player. However, the club have put down a stance that they will not be selling the player, and the player does not want to go. He wants to stay and help Real Sociedad get Champions League football. So Alexander Isak will be staying for the remainder of the season at least. What's your thoughts on this one, Steve?
Yeah, I think it's a shame. I think it's a great shame considering we know that it seems that Arsenal will pay the money if there is a player that they want, and 22 years old, it would have been perfect, but I think we all knew right from the off that this was going to be an awkward one to get through, and I can see his point. I can see his point. And I can see Real Sociedad's point with what they're saying. They're sitting sixth. In the league at the moment. I think there's 6 points off Betis with a game in there. Yeah, so you're not going to get rid of your main man. In January, it's just a non-entity. Maybe if Arsenal put the 90 million euro release clause on the table, who knows? You don't know. Money talks, but as far as I know, that they didn't do that because they didn't feel it was worth it, because both player and club just turned around and said, not happening. Yeah,
exactly.
Good player though.
Yep, you got to know when to back off. Tyrese Sinclair, son of former Chelsea and Jamaican international Frank Sinclair, has signed on a loan deal until the end of the season for Mansfield Town from league club Scunthorpe. Good opportunity for him, and one of our man Nathan Lennon's players. So keep an eye out for him because he's one of our players, one of ours. I'm sure we'll have him on the show.
We've taken him.
Here we have. Juventus presented an offer to Fiorentina for Vlahovic. That deal looks like it's going to be going through. I don't know how they've got that pull. Not necessarily with the player, but like why do so many Italian clubs pander to Juventus? Is there some underhand stuff going on? What's going on? How did they get Locatelli last season when they had no money and about 45 midfielders? They've got Dusan Vlahovic, 75 mil. It's confusing. What's going on?
It's very, very confusing. Especially, the first thing that people say is, how do they get their money? How do these, Barcelona keep, talking? You're getting Juventus talking, even Real Madrid are talking, about it. So. All this rubbish about they haven't got no money. I was thinking about this earlier today, and these are three clubs that were all sort of for the Super League, and all of a sudden they didn't have no money, and now they have got money when it comes to the transfer window. So I don't know if it was this. I don't think these clubs haven't got any money. I think they probably have got money, but they were just playing the poor man because everyone pulled out the Super League. It was just a fault today, but they're getting the money from somewhere. But as far as Locatelli goes, I mean, he wanted to play for Juventus because he's where he wanted to go, and Vlahovic the same. And it seems to me that Juventus have got this incredible pull for players. At the same time, it seems that most Italian clubs hate Juventus. But
they can't really do anything about it because if the player, well, apparently, this is not just, we've heard it from many sources. Vlahovic only had eyes for Juventus the whole time. It was only ever going to be Juventus, which says to me, for Arsenal to be hanging in that long, they must have been strung along. Like, Arsenal are no mugs. They're not going to push for a transfer if, like, they must have had some inkling from the player or his agent or something that something might happen. Like, because why would they waste 3 weeks on this? 4 weeks even, because it was before the transfer window that we were first interested.
Yeah, I mean, we Arsenal put down the money. I mean, he was very vocal, Joe Baroni, because he came out and he said that we want to talk to people. That he was upset with the agent and the Vlahovic. He came out and said that. He said we need to answer, we need to talk, but they're not talking. But was they? I don't know. But in what sense could they have been strung along? In what way could they be?
Because you would have thought that. Would you place that much time and effort on a player when you haven't heard anything from them for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Like, why would you keep on persisting if you're not hearing anything? Like, if you've heard nothing, and you're saying to the club, okay, we put down the money. What's the player saying? Oh, we can't get hold of him. Like, he's playing tonight. What do you mean you can't get hold of him? We can't get hold of his agent. Like, I have to get an answer. Like, what's going on? So either Arsenal have blindly gone after this player, not hearing anything from their side, but still with a thinking, no, we can make this still happen, or they would have heard something potentially, maybe maybe not, nothing definitive, and they thought, you know what, actually no, we can crack this nut. I don't understand why they would have spent so long on a transfer if this guy is not answering his phone or is not interested in Arsenal or anyone else, and it was only ever going to be Juventus. Surely there must have been something to make them think, actually, no, there's something there. We can do this.
Well, mate, the only thing that it can be, I mean, now looking back now in hindsight, is that Baroni was lying.
Maybe. That's what I mean.
That he was when he was saying that we can't get in touch and the agent won't talk and Vlahovic won't talk and he won't pick up the phone and all this stuff which was coming out and what we was hearing. Maybe that was all a load of rubbish and that was just a game and everybody knew at the end of the day, that he was going Juventus anyway. And why would you do that? Wouldn't you just turn around and say to Arsenal, no, he's not happening. He wants to go Juventus. End of.
It benefits a tug of war.
Yeah, I mean, and on the other side of it, was they trying to get the money up? And
maybe
I don't see the point. I don't see the point in the charade. In the game of all this, it just seems a pointless exercise.
Yeah, and, I mean, if Juventus as the only club he wants to go to, the Juventus can essentially set the price tag because he's got a year left after this season. So if Juventus then come in and say we'll give you 40 mil, then they've got to sell for 40 mil, or the players then write it out and goes for nothing. So they're back to the corner there. So maybe they were using Arsenal. I just feel like somewhere along the way, Arsenal were used, whether it's by the club or the agent, to either get a better deal or to get more money for the player. It just doesn't make sense for Arsenal to keep on pushing for this player. Like, Arsenal got what seemed like a definitive no from an Isaac and Sociedad today, and
Yeah.
that felt like it was in the space of 24 hours. Now they've
Yeah.
moved on.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why was that dragged out for so long? That for me, that would only be because Arsenal have had some indication that something can happen. That's
Maybe,
my opinion.
yeah. Maybe if Juventus didn't come up with the money, maybe they was using Arsenal as a little carrot for Juventus to say, you know, we've had Arsenal's bid of, but what also you got to remember as well, which has just come to me head, which makes it, you know, seem that, you know, Arsenal was used, is that Arsenal had 2 bids for this. They put 1 bid in.
Yeah, they did. One with Torreira, wasn't it?
Yeah. 50 odd plus Torreira.
Yeah.
And then they said, well, we don't really want that part of the deal. Yeah. And then they put the 2nd bid in. So why we all were saying, and we said on the show, we said,
why are you going in again?
It's got to be on.
Why are you going in again? Because we've seen it many a time. Yeah, clubs don't like to be rejected, so they usually go with ask the player first. Would there be any interest in joining? Because we will put a bid in. Like, would you be interested? Yeah, sweet. We'll sort that out later. Let's see what the club is going to say. Let's do some business. I just, for 3 weeks, to spend 3 weeks on a deal, to be told that he always wanted to go Juventus, that kills me. That's like, how did that happen? No. How did that happen? If this was common knowledge that he would only had eyes for Juventus, then there's something happening. There's something wrong with Arsenal, because you need to have your ear to the ground there then. Like, I just don't see that. I don't see that. I feel like there would have been something either from the player's agent, the player, or the club that was said, no, this still can happen.
It had to be to have 2 bids going. It's got to be. I think it, you know, talking about it here tonight, you know, when you cut it down, it seems that Arsenal was used. First bid come in, 2nd bid come in, and it was all about, you know, getting what they could off of Juventus. You know, when it finally happened, they're probably all in it together. You know, the club, the Vlahovic and Baroni, probably sitting down having a cup of tea, saying, right, look, you know, we want to get the price up. We all want as much money as we can and earn as much as we can. And and you know, the agent wants to get ease. So if we use Arsenal as a little, you know, with our fishing rod, with our little maggot on the end of it, that's the way to go. But again, the fact that they haven't spoke to the agent, I would have thought Arsenal would have just gone, nah, forget it.
Yeah, 100%. So naive maybe, but yeah, it does something's not right there.
It may come out in the book.
I'm sure it will come out in the next couple, as soon as that transfer window shuts, as these stories always do. Little midfielder Renato Sanches admits he was ready to leave, but can't confirm if with AC Milan or Juventus are interested in signing him. For me, that's going to be AC Milan. Frank Kessie is off. Renato Sanches will probably be a pretty good like-for-like replacement. Slightly different players, but that's the fit. And it'll be, I think it'll be an easier fit for him to go to the Italian league than it would be to come to the Premier League again. Crystal Palace. Reports suggest that Donny van der Beek will only be allowed to leave Manchester United on January on a short-term loan. Crystal Palace are now favourites to sign the Dutchman. Donny van der Beek. Man United won't let him go to West Ham. Man United won't let him go to who else was after him? Tottenham, I think it was. And now I think Newcastle were looking at him, but now it's Crystal Palace. Do you think this deal could get done? Would it be good idea for Donny van der Beek to go to Crystal Palace? What are Man United playing at when they need a player in the team that could sort of make things spark in that centre of midfield as well? What's your thoughts on the Donny van der Beek to Crystal Palace?
Firstly, I don't know what Man United are playing at. You know, with some of these players, with Lingard, with Van der Beek, with Martial. Okay, he's left now, but my God, it took something to eventually to, you know, for him to lead. But I mean, he's got to go. He's got to leave. I mean, ever since he's came to Manchester United, you know, he's not got two games, you know, in a row, and he's got a quality player there, and the kid needs to play. And you know, he's got the World Cup coming up. He's got pulled out of the Netherlands squad, so and you know, you're talking 22 players in Holland, you know, and you're telling me that he can't be one of the best of those. I mean, it's absolute rubbish. So for me, you know, Manchester United have done that to him, you know, and he came from Ajax being an absolute fantastic player who was all jealous that we didn't have him. And yeah, I mean, you got to say it, you know, Man United have ruined him. They have.
Yeah,
you know, not you,
not.
and I'm sure Manchester United fans would agree with what I'm saying. You know that, but they'd agree with it, and I think like Crystal Palace would be an absolutely fantastic place to go. I mean, I've heard that Dennis Bergkamp, who's his father-in-law, has actually phoned Patrick Vieira.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, to sort of push the deal through with him. So, yeah.
Where was Dennis when Man United was sniffing around? Why did Dennis not say, look, there's a team in London you should be going to. Forget Man United, come over to my home in Arsenal.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? He may have done. He may have done it. He may have done it, but because there's some strange. This is a strange transfer window up to yet with Arsenal, but yeah, he may have done. He may not have done, and if he didn't, why not? But yeah, I think Crystal Palace. I think he'll fit in nicely in there. I mean, if you look at let's take a player. Let's take Conor Gallagher. Yeah, he's coming from Chelsea. I forget, who did he play before Chelsea? I can't. He was on loan.
He was at Swansea. He was at Charlton.
Yeah.
He's at West Brom.
Yeah. West Brom, I think, is the one I'm thinking of. And he's got into that Crystal Palace side, and you know, he's probably been one of the best young players this season. You know, without doubt. And Rick van der Beek is a very similar type of player for me as Conor Gallagher.
Yeah,
and I think Vieira is proving to be an excellent manager.
Yeah, no, he is.
Yeah, so I think it'd be a fantastic move for him. I feel so sorry for Donny. He seems a lovely bloke, and his father-in-law is Dennis Bergkamp. So
he's winning. He's winning.
So he's winning on my end.
Endrick, 15-year-old Brazilian striker, is quickly becoming one of the hottest properties in Europe. The top clubs in world football: Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico, Bayern Munich, PSG, Manchester City, Liverpool, and Arsenal are all interested in the player, and they are currently scouting the youngster. Jerome did a little player profile on him last night. I think he said he scored like a goal per game over the last 2 years or something ridiculous like that. And it's like 170 goals in 170 games, 15 playing in the under-20s. Definitely a new superstar has been born in Brazil, and can't wait to see what he's like. Tottenham have begun talks with FC Porto over a transfer of Luis Diaz. Where we are? Oh, Luis Diaz. Porto asked for the release clause of Luis Diaz to be played. Tottenham need to increase their first offer to stand a chance of signing the player.
It's a fair offer though, weren't it? It was quite a substantial offer that Tottenham put in for him, and I thought they'd get him with that. And
I don't know if this player's any good. I think
it's 35 to 40 million euro. And a very good player, and personal terms have been sorted. You know, no problem there. But as you said, like, you know, talks are still going on, so that's still a deal that may happen. So the fact that talks are going on sounds to me like it looks like they may up the bid.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that just a sec. Seville were not allowed allow Diego Carlos to leave the club this month after rejecting 2 bids from Newcastle. And as you're saying, Luis Diaz race continues between Liverpool and Tottenham. Porto wants 60 million euros for the Colombian. A lot of money. A lot of money. Barcelona have a verbal agreement in place to sign AC Milan Ivorian international Frank Kessie. Good, very good player. As we said earlier on, Newcastle have launched a bid to sign Bruno Guimaraes. Steve, what was your first thoughts when you heard this one confirmed? What were your thoughts about Arsenal in regards to a player? He's a player that Arsenal were touted at wanting to go in for at the end of the season, and apparently 35 mil is going to be enough to get his signature.
I nearly choked on my coffee when I see that come out. I had to keep looking. That was I seeing right, because it just it was one of them that people like myself who do this day to day. It was one of the ones that no one knew. It just come out of the blue, and everyone was like, "What?" And what's happening here? Guimaraes, what, medical? What's going on? Yeah, I mean, incredible. But we've had Leon have sort of debunked it at the moment. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. We all know Orlus, is a bit of a game player.
Yeah, they're not here to tell the truth if it doesn't, if it goes against what they need to do. Like, I've got no problem with it. It doesn't help us. However, if he's trying to get the most amount of money for his player and he's trying to stop the Lyon fans from getting upset about losing one of their best midfielders, which he said this before with Gabriel Magalhaes. Sorry, that was Lille, but it's very, very similar. He says it before about Memphis Depay. So yeah, I wouldn't believe a word that comes out of these owners' mouths or chairman's mouths when it comes to France. They play the game. Let's just say that. But how much did Arsenal want him if Newcastle can get him in January for 35 mil? Like, how much did Arsenal really want him?
They certainly couldn't have wanted him January. Because for Lyon to accept the bid, which I'm pretty sure that they did, I'm not having that, what Orlus has said. He's just, someone's leaked it. And the reason why I know someone leaked it is because people like me and others like who are out there doing the transfer stuff, we never knew about it. So it was a leak. That's when you call leaks, when it just hits at the same time and everybody knows. It was not. It never sort of weren't the odd couple and it never came through. So for me, it was leaked. Then they've panicked. But going back to Arsenal, they couldn't have wanted him. They couldn't have had no intentions of bringing this guy in January because they would have had a bid on the table, or there would have been talks that they've spoken to him in January. From what I was hearing, it was something that was going to, sort of raise its head in the summer as far as Arsenal goes, and that was the reason. This is the reason why people that Arthur Miller. There's been that thing with Arsenal. If you're wondering why Arsenal don't want an 18-month contract with Arthur Miller, is the reason why that is because they wanted Bruno Guimaraes in the summer. So they just wanted it. That's why they only want him for the 6 months, and then they can get their target that they want, was Guimaraes. But they wasn't planning on Newcastle coming in. So Arsenal have slipped up there massively. And, really slipped up.
So, is there a chance that Arsenal will try and hoodwink Newcastle and
well, you'll know how much Arsenal want this bloke if
in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, maybe even sooner than that. I've heard that that Arsenal was they're still interested in him. And well, yeah, of course they are. They was interested in him in summer, but don't. It's not out of the question that Arsenal will come in, and you would think that if Arsenal did come in, then it would be pretty easy to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, the price tag's still already there. It's already set. All you got to do is speak to the. We got to do is speak to Camiras, get the personal terms done, go to the club, offer them a couple of million more, done deal. But we will see. We will see. Alexander Real Sociedad Sweden forward Alexander Isak wants to stay at the club until the end of the season. We spoke about this earlier, and the striker was on the short list of players to replace Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, but he will be staying until the end of the season, at least, as we said earlier. Gini Wijnaldum turned down Barcelona in the summer to join PSG instead. The Dutchman had left Liverpool on a free and signed a contract until 2024, but things have not gone to plan. Reportedly, he could leave on loan in January. Leicester City are in talks with Angers forward Mohamed Al-Cho. The English club have been in contact with Angers over the past few days to discuss a deal. What else have we got here? Fiorentina reportedly agreed a deal to sign Arthur Cabal from Bal, 14.5 million plus 2 million in add-ons. The 23-year-old is set to replace Dusan Vlahovic. The Brazilian striker is on the verge of moving to the Stadio Armeiro. All right. So yes, they've got their replacement in. It's happening. Man United will go big for West Ham and England midfielder Declan Rice in the summer. I think there's reports of 100 mil that West Ham want in the summer. Do you think they get anywhere near that?
Possibly. Declan Rice, one of the best centre midfield, defensive midfield players in Europe, as far as I'm concerned. Pogba, it looks like he'll be leaving. There's, when you look at players like Fred and McTominay, and the players they got in the middle now, Man United they want the best. I spoke to a very good contact today, very very highly thought of, very well known contact in the transfer world, and he said Man United will go all out to get Declan Rice because they need the best. They want to win titles. They want to win the Champions League, and Declan Rice is the one person they want. He's the one that they've highlighted. We've heard little, things before that. They like Declan Rice, but and it won't be so bad because Pogba goes in the summer. You'll have Pogba's wages, and then Rice comes in. So it's not from the realms of impossibility. And let's face it, Declan Rice wants to win titles. He's a player that should be winning titles. He's a player that should be playing in the Champions League. I could see this happening in the summer.
I can definitely see him leaving. Old Declan Busquets he's turning into. Paul Pogba has held talks with La Liga's Real Madrid over a move in the summer. Pogba is free to talk to clubs as his contract runs out in June. Sampdoria in talks with AC Milan over winger Samu Castro. The Spaniard is out of favour at the San Siro, therefore will be a good chance to reunite with former manager Marco Giappolo. Early agreement with this in Sagni. Lazio are very close to agreeing a transfer with Mallorca for the sale of their centre forward Vedek Mirkui. That's the Turkish international, isn't it? He's an absolute beast. He's a monster. Aston Villa are nearing an agreement for Juventus and Uruguayan Rodrigo Bentancur. Aston Villa are making some serious moves. Tottenham and Valencia have agreed a 6-month loan deal for midfielder Tungai Ndombele. It just has not worked out for him. Milan have opened talks with Schalke over Milek Thor. Liverpool are also interested for the Schalke player this season. He's featured in over 20 games in the Bundesliga 2. His contract runs till 2024. Who else we got here?
Just heard that Crystal Palace will pay all the Donny van der Beek's wages.
Oh, so that looks like a deal that's going to be going through. So yeah, You heard it here first. Crystal Palace will pay Donny van. Oh, that's the wrong one. Crystal Palace will pay Donny van der Beek's full wages. So it looks like he will be going to Crystal Palace and linking up with Patrick Vieira. Any more deals?
No, I mean, we pretty much covered it. We're, the transfer exchange show page, and people that are watching tonight, stay on there. It's going to be updated literally by the second, all the way up to the transfer window. And so we've updated you there tonight, added a few things onto it. And, follow the page and you'll get all the information. But, it's going to be interesting window. There's still clubs that like Arsenal, Newcastle, Burnley, Manchester United. I think this is going to be, one hell of a transfer window in January. And I don't know if to say I'm looking forward to it or not. I think I am.
Well, I'm now looking forward to the summer transfer window because Arsenal haven't done anything. So, Donny van der Beek, as we said, Palace will pay his full wages. The deal is very much on. So it looks like Crystal Palace will be getting Donny van der Beek, world-class midfielder, and Man United will be kicking themselves because he won't want to stay after this. He won't want to stay.
Yeah, right. I mean, good luck to him. Good luck to him. And it's a good club, Crystal Palace. They're a good club, good fans, good atmosphere. Just a good manager, Patrick Vieira, good young manager. I think that's what he needs. I think that's a little bit of a problem I see with Manchester United. We've a lot of young players seem to be having problems at Man United at the moment, and whether they're going with the Ralph Rangnick process, I don't know. But just get him out, get him some game times, So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Ralph Rangnick is a key one to bring through youth. As we saw in the game against Young Boys, I think he made 11 changes. We saw Zidane playing in there. We saw Merge. We saw about 6 or 7 youngsters. We saw Robbie Savage's son play. So Ralph Rangnick is all about bringing through youngsters. I think if Man United are going to bring him in as a consultant, I think they've definitely got to listen to some of his ideas. It does seem like they're hitting at loggerheads, and it doesn't seem like they're fully on board with what he wants. But it remains to be seen whether Man United are going to be stuck in their ways or they're going to move forward and reevaluate the structure that they've currently got right there. All right.
Yeah, just one more, just quick one. Just former Barcelona wonder kid, Ajax Moriba, is now at Leipzig. He looks like he's on his way to Valencia. Bit of a full of grace from Moriba. Don't know what's happened to him. Off to Valencia.
Keeping a tabs on him. All right, that's all we have time for. Thanks for joining us tonight, Steve.
Cheers, mate. Pleasure.
No, it's all good. And thank you for joining us tonight, everyone. If you are watching on Twitter, smash that like, smash that subscribe, or come over to KS1 TV. If you're new to the show and you are watching on KS1 TV, smash that subscribe button. We appreciate the support. All right, people. Peace out. Stay safe. And wash your hands.